Hi, thank you so much for choosing to practice with me. So I'm going to be weaving a little yoga philosophy into my practices over the next 5 weeks in particular, because we're going to have a look at something that's called the yamas. So this forms the first limb of the 8-limbed path of yoga. So this comes within Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So I'm not going to talk about the 8 limbs at the moment. I'm just going to focus on the yamas, which are the first limb. So these are moral and ethical guidelines that yogis strive to live by. If you're following the yamas, you are becoming, or it's enabling you to become more authentic, so within yourself, towards other people, within the world in general. So there are 5 yamas. We're going to look at 1 yama each week. It's going to be about half an hour practice, just kind of like a bite-sized introduction to each of the yamas. So this week, the first yama is called Ahimsa. This means non-violence. So this involves refraining from causing harm either to yourself or to others, and encompasses all living beings. So this can be on a physical level, so obviously not physically harming yourself, not causing physical harm to other people or to other living beings. So within that falls, within a yogic lifestyle, we would adopt a vegetarian or a vegan lifestyle, because so as to not cause harm to other beings, but also harm on an emotional and a mental level. So this would be your thoughts, your words, your deeds, to yourself, to others, to all living beings. It might be what you're putting into your body. So if you're thinking about your actions, making healthy choices, because that would be non-harming to your body. The way that you move your body, keeping moving, exercising, making healthy choices. It might be the way that you talk to yourself, your inner dialogue, keeping that positive, watching how you're talking to yourself, being aware of not choosing hurtful words, so either to yourself or to other people, in terms of the world around us, not harming the environment, maybe making choices to be more mindful, more protective of the environment. So lots of different ideas can be encompassed in the idea of ahimsa. This is just a bite-sized introduction, really, as we lead into our practice. So in terms of ahimsa on the mat, the way that I'm interpreting this, or it can be interpreted, is to honor your body within your practice. So move in a way that is kind to your body. Choose the poses, choose the modifications that are comfortable in your body. Don't cause yourself harm. Don't make yourself hold a posture for longer than is comfortable. Don't come into a posture that causes you back pain or shoulder pain or knee pain. Choose postures or modifications that are kinder to your body, and be mindful of your thoughts. Not criticizing yourself, not judging yourself. If you're in a class situation with other people, not comparing yourself to other people, not judging other people. It's that kind of idea. So we're looking at this obviously on the mat, but all of these ideas apply off the mat too. So the mudra that connects us with ahimsa is Lotus or Padma mudra. So the lotus is a flower that grows in murky waters. Its roots root down into the mud. Its flowers reach up to the sunlight. This awakens the energy of the heart chakra, and it connects us with the principle of ahimsa, the Yama Ahimsa. So we start with our hands in prayer, so Anjali Mudra, the thumbs at the heart center, closing the eyes if you're comfortable to. Just take a moment or two to connect with sensations at the heart center. So just breathing in, maybe you can feel the heartbeat, maybe you can hear the heartbeat. We're going to open the eyes, we're going to point the fingers forward, reach forwards. We're going to open the hand, open the palms of the hands to receive. Insides of the fingers touching, little fingers touching. We're going to reach round, back of the hands touching. We're reaching down into the mud, roots down into the mud. Back of the hands stay connected, coming into fists, finding the bud, flower bud, opening the petals of our lotus, fingers, little fingers, thumbs to touch, reaching up towards the sunlight, exhaling, taking the hands down and out to the side, coming back to Anjali Mudra, doing the same again, reaching the hands, pointing the hands away, reach the hands forward, open the palms, back of the hands to touch, reaching down into the mud, putting down those roots, back of the hands coming into fists, your bud, open the flowers, reach up, hands out to the side, and just one last time, bringing the hands back to prayer at the heart center, fingers point forward, open the arms forward, hands open, turning back of the hands down into the mud, those roots, symbolizing the roots, the bud of the lotus flower, opening the petals, reaching up for the sunlight, exhaling the hands down, round, coming back to Anjali. Okay. From here, we're going to let the hands relax. We're going to come to all fours, moving into a few cat-cows, so getting into the spine. Again, we're going to apply the principle of Ahimsa throughout. So I just want you to be aware of your mind, so how your thoughts are going, but also being aware to honor your body within your practice. So keeping these key ideas in your mind throughout the practice. Breathing in, your gaze is forward, dropping the belly, stretch across the lower back. Tucking under, bottom under, chin under, draw the belly button towards the spine. Mula Bandha, apply your root lock. Lock the energy into the body, releasing, gazes forward, shoulders away from the ears. Doing the same again. 2 more times. Tucking under with the out breath. Breathing in, dropping the belly. Exhaling, tucking under. And then coming back to a neutral position. Okay, we're going to move from here into Uttanshishasana, so extended puppy pose, or also known as Anahata Asana, a melting heart pose. This is its yin name, and I think this name actually describes it a little better. So we're going to come onto the forearms. I'm going to give you options here. So again, these options are your opportunity to find, to practice in that way that honors your body. You might have the hold the inside of the elbows, forehead to the forearms, forehead to the mat, stretching across the chest, across the shoulders. So you might stay here. You might extend the arms. So again, if that's comfortable on the shoulders, your hips are kind of staying over your knees. You're opening quite deeply across the chest, quite strong across the shoulders. Remember, you keep the arms bent if that feels better. Sinking the belly, so you're stretching across the low back. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. Use the out breath to sink a little deeper. Again, you're just letting go if that feels comfortable. One last breath. Just gently drawing the arms back a little. We're going to move into a little bit of a flow, a little bit of fluid movement. So we're going to lower ourselves down, keeping low, close to the mat if that's possible for you. If not, just placing yourself into cobra. So you're keeping the elbows into the side, move through into your back bend. So if you need to stay low, then stay low. If you can lift the hips off and come into upward facing dog is then an option. But remembering the position that is comfortable, most comfortable for your back. We're going to tuck the toes, we're going to open back of the body stretches, hands stay where they are, reaching back towards child's pose, balasana, and doing the same again. So we're breathing in, moving forwards. Breathe in, open. Exhale, back body stretches, stretch the low back, drop the hips towards the heels. One last time, moving forwards. Remember, coming into child's cobra rather, sorry, however is possible to. Pressing back towards child's pose, and we're going to tuck the toes here. So we're going to lift up into downward facing dog. Lift the bottom, lift the hips, a little shift through the bottom of the hips here. We're going to take the right leg, three-legged dog, out behind. Swing that foot through between the hands, and we're moving into Anjaneyasana. So the back knee is going to plant down. You can keep your hands low. You can move them into a prayer twist if you wish. So you've got your elbow hooking, quite a strong twist. So mindful of the back. If it's too strong, one hand down, one arm up. You can untuck the toes if that feels better for your knee. Okay, or tuck the toes rather. Untuck if it's possible, tuck if the knee feels too heavy or too much pressure onto it. Okay, just taking a breath here. Parivrtta Anjaneyasana. Coming back to center. We're going to step straight back to downward facing dog. Pressing back down dog. Shift through the hips. Left side, left leg out behind. Swing through between the hands. Drop the back knee, Anjaneyasana. Hands might stay to the floor. They might come to prayer and hook, so opposite direction. Remember, if this feels okay for your back, you can stay here. If it's not, just take the hand down, reach the arm up. So a little bit more of a stretch into the chest and the shoulder with this option. Prayer twist is a little bit stronger on the spine. Just taking a breath here. Coming back to center, so turning back to center. We're going to step to the top of the mat into Uttanasana. The feet together, top of the mat. Straightening the legs if that feels okay. Keep a bend if it feels better. Maybe heel toe, hip width apart. Let the upper body relax, hang. Should feel a nice stretch across the low back. Let the jaw, the face relax. Breathe. And then we're going to take the hands to the hips and we're going to come up nice and slow, rolling or a flat back up to standing. Okay, so now we're standing, we're going to come to our Surya Namaskar A. So we're just going to do one round of Surya Namaskar A. So we're going to breathe the arms up. We're going to exhale, fold, hinge from the hips, hands to rest. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing. Stepping back with the right foot, so moving into your lunge. Coming back to plank. So straight line. Knees can be down if that feels better. So your wrists are under your shoulders. So find what feels better for you. Hug the elbows in, lowering down. Untuck the toes. Move into your back bend. Stay low, come higher. Elbows hugging in if they're bent. Shoulders away from the ears, gazes forward. Taking a breath. Tucking the toes. Pressing back, downward facing dog. Lifting up the bottom and the hips. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. So you're going to take the shoulders away from the ears. You're going to ease through the heels. So you're thinking about pressing through the heels. Nice wide spread of the fingers. Connect with your breath. And then you're going to take the right leg, so 3-legged dog, swinging through between the hands. Back into your lunge. Both feet together. Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing. Breathing the arms up. And exhale, hands to prayer at the heart center. Okay, same to the other side. Breathing the arms up. Exhale, fold, hinge from the hips, hands to rest. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, release. Step back, left foot this time, long lunge. Back to plank or modified with the knees down. You can take the knees down when you lower as well. Untuck the toes, move through. So again, the position that feels best for your back. Tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Let's just take a few breaths here. If it starts to feel too strong at any point, you just take your knees down. If maybe it's strong on the wrists, possibly take the forearms down. That might feel better for your wrists. So just finding modifications that suit your body. One more breath. Taking the left foot out behind, through between the hands, so back into your lunge. Both feet together, Uttanasana, top of the mat. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing. Breathing the arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer at the heart center. Okay, so you should hopefully feel a little bit warmer by now. We're going to have a look at Garudasana, so eagle pose. So just take a standing balance. So we're going to get the arms into position first of all. Take the left hand under the right. Either going to have your hands to your shoulders, back of the hands together, or the palms together. And then we're sitting back into it. So from this position, so you're not sitting forward, you're sitting the bottom back, so your knees are behind your toes. From here, you're going to take your left leg, cross at the knee, maybe toes touching the floor, maybe just to the side of the leg, maybe hooking around. Okay, and then we're sitting back into it. You can bring your thumbs to your brow center possibly, have the gaze or the drishti beyond the hands. So let me come this way a little bit so you can see. That's it. Perfectly fine to stay here. If you want to lower down into it, you can bring your elbows down to your thigh. We'll just take a breath or two here. And then slowly coming up. Release the hands, release the legs, give the legs a shake. Okay, good. So we're going to do the same to the other side. Arms out to the side. Take the right arm under this time, crossing the elbows. Find your comfortable position. So shoulders, wrists, however that feels comfortable. Come slightly to the side so you can see. You're going to sit back into it. So again, not forwards, but back. This time you're taking your right foot over. That's it. You might have the toes just gently touching to the floor. You might have to the low leg or hooking around. Maybe thumbs to the brow center. Perfectly fine to stay up. Drishti is beyond the hands, just so you're not going cross-eyed. You might possibly, you might possibly take the elbows down to the thigh or behind the knee. Just for a couple of breaths. Obviously hold longer if it feels comfortable, and then more slowly come up. You release the hands, release the legs. From here, we're going to come to Warrior Two. So it's come to Virabhadrasana 2. So we'll take a wide stance. This leg, you're going to have the foot pointing forwards, back foot can come in a little. If the knee is happy, if not, just keep the feet right angles. Arms to shoulder height. Warrior 2, as I'm going to Trikonasana. Going to bend into Warrior 2, bend the front leg. Knee is just over the ankle, the heel, so not overshooting. Your back shoulder stays over the back hip, so you're not leaning forwards, but you're keeping upright. Strong through the arms. The drishti is over your front hand. Okay? Good. And we're just sitting into it. That's it. So nice and strong here. Should feel a stretch down the front of the back leg. Strong through the arms. Shoulders relaxed. Breathing. So if you're working with your root lock, aware of the root lock, we're drawing up around the pelvic floor. So our Mula Bandha keeps the energy locked into the body, draws the energy up through the lower three chakras, your root chakra, your Svadhisthana chakra, and your Manipura chakra around the belly. Take one more breath. And then we're going to straighten, just gently straighten the front leg, heel toe a little bit in. We're going to move to Trikonasana. We're going to throw the hip a little, reach, hand comes down wherever you comfortably can go. So you might find that you're lower, you might find that you're higher, above or below the knee, not on the knee. Shoulder issues, keep the hand to the hip. Maybe the arm is up, maybe the arm is over. Again, Ahimsa, think about how you're holding your neck. Is it straining here? If so, maybe the gaze comes down, maybe the gaze is forwards, maybe the gaze is up. If the gaze is up, that's a rotation through the upper body, so not a turn of the head, the neck. Okay, so it should feel comfortable. Breathing, one more breath. We're going to engage the core as we come up, so we're not pulling into the back. We'll come up to standing, let the hands relax and do the same to the other side. So Warrior 2, a wider stance, Virabhadrasana 2. Heel toeing out, that's it. If your knee goes beyond, then you go a little bit wider or you bring the knee back. Back foot is in a little if the knee is happy. Strong arms, drishti over the front hand. So you should feel strong, grounded through the legs, strong across the arms. Draw up Mula Bandha. So root lock coming through the lower three chakras here. Keep the energy into the body. Breathing. Exhaling, maybe going deeper, but just not overshooting the ankle. Then we're going to straighten the front leg, so nice and easy with that, mindful of the back of the knee. Heel toe the back foot in a little. Trikonasana. Throw the hip a little, keep nice and open. Reach, reach, reach. Hand comes down. Arm placement, wherever's comfortable for you, for your shoulder. Maybe to the hip, maybe up, maybe over. So Utthita Trikonasana is just lengthening the stretch up the side body. You should feel that you're working your core. You're not pulling into the back, coming down. You're keeping nice and open. You're supported here above or below the knee. Just taking one more breath. And then we're going to come slowly up to standing. Let the hands relax. Heel toe the feet in a little. We're going to come down through Malasana. Hands to prayer at the heart center. Knees over toes as you're coming down. Your comfortable position in Malasana. So you might be onto the heels. You might find that you just go to the toes. Maybe it feels more comfortable or it's not accessible to come down. Wherever is comfortable for you. Elbows into the insides. That's it on the legs. Press down. So you're drawing the shoulders down, pressing here to get length through the spine, thinking of your root lock, so keep the energy into the body. Otherwise, we will kind of sinking into the earth. That's it. Good. And breathing. And then we'll release the hands. So we're almost there. We're going to come down to sitting. We're going to come sideways on. And we're going to move to a seated fish. So we're just going to have the hands behind you. Maybe the fingers point towards you. Maybe they point away. Pressing down into the sit bones, pressing down into the feet, lifting the chest. Okay. So the gaze might be forwards. The gaze might be up. Opening across the heart. Breathing here. Feel that stretch. Bring the head back if you dropped it back a little. You can either repeat this, or if you want to come a little higher, we're just going to go to kind of a reverse tabletop, building towards Purvottanasana, but we'll stay at reverse tabletop. So lifting the bottom and the hips. So you might come up. So the lifting the bottom, hips a bit higher. Maybe the gaze stays forwards. That might be more comfortable for your neck to have the gaze forwards. You might have the gaze up. Feel the stretch across the upper arms. But head, neck stays where is comfortable. Lift. Remember, if you can stay in seated fish, if that feels better. If you're dropping the head, bring the head back a little. Bottom comes down. Give the knees a little bit of a hug. Feel that stretch across the low back. Should feel nice. Drop the chin towards the chest, maybe. Okay. And then you can bring yourselves to laying. So we're going to come into a little bit of a twist, and then we'll just take a couple of minutes in Shavasana. Always nice to finish with a twist. Always tend to finish with a twist. Arms out to the sides. Just let the knees drop to one side. Maybe they touch down. Maybe the feet are down. And just see what feels comfortable. Keep the back of the shoulders connected. Head and neck relax. Let the breathing slow down. So just be aware of slowing down the breath. Feel that release across the spine. You can cross one leg over the other if that feels better. Or if you need to go a little deeper. And then you're coming slowly back to center and over to the other side. So if you cross the legs, then you're going to change the cross of the legs. Knees dropping to the other side. So it might be that the knees and the feet are down. Maybe the feet are touching. But just so you're not hovering, so you're not holding on around your core. All the muscles, the effort is relaxed. You should feel a nice stretch across the spine, so a twist of the spine. Back of the shoulders stay grounded. The breath is slowing down. And then bringing the knees back to center. And give the knees a little bit of a hug. Uttanasana. Maybe a rock side to side if that feels good, or a circle of the knees. Okay. And then I'm going to invite you to lay down. So you're going to come to a comfortable position. So laying on your back if that's comfortable. You can lay on your side. even your front if you wish. So the idea is that you're in a position that is comfortable for you to lay in. Okay, I'm going to come to seated. I'm just going to guide you just for a couple of minutes. Obviously, you're welcome to stay longer, but this is it's a short practice, so it's just a little bit of time in Shavasana. Allowing yourself to find a comfortable position and just check in with your body. So notice if there's any holding in the body, let your head relax, let the head get heavy. Maybe noticing across the shoulders, let the shoulders relax, back of the shoulders pressing into the mat. Let the arms release from the shoulders. Maybe an awareness of that release across the low back, low belly. Hips, pelvis, bottom relax, don't get heavy there, and let that feeling, that release flow down through the legs. Legs, feet, heels, relax, whole body connected with the mat. Awareness of the ebb and flow of the breath. Be aware of any areas of holding tightness. Hopefully, we've released quite a lot of the body through our practice today. A shorter practice, but sometimes it's nice to bring in a shorter practice when you have less time available. Still effective. Okay. Allowing yourself to settle into a deeper sense of stillness. And I'm just going to read you a little poem, a little piece. It's by Morgan Harper Nichols. On the days when the mind feels anything but at ease, may your soul remember this marvelous wonder. Sometimes peace is just breathing deep, learning to trust through every inhale and exhale. All of this is a part of the story you will tell. The waves will push as they always do, and calm waters will also find you. Travel slowly whenever you need to. May peace, even in the smallest shapes, be a beautiful miracle that continues to find you. Letting your awareness stay or come back to the breath. Following a nice deep breath in. Following the flow of the breath out of the body. And then coming back to the body. Small movements, fingers, toes. Move the head, move the neck. Take a stretch, however feels good. Give yourself a hug your knees, full body stretch. Knees one side to the other. Just kind of move intuitively, stretch intuitively, reconnect with the body. And then just going to slowly make your way back up to a comfortable seat. So you can come onto your side first, you can rock yourself up to sitting. Keeping Ahimsa in mind. Okay. So I hope that you have been able to understand how we can apply Ahimsa to our practice. Whether it's on the mat, off the mat, it's just within life in general. But I think Ahimsa is one of the yamas that is easier to interpret and bring onto the mat. So thank you so much for joining me today. We'll just bring our hands together in prayer, and I will thank you for joining me. Namaste.